day, down 7,500 in the 250K portfolio. Didn't trade the micros live. Focused on the E-minis now, and just a tough trading day, tough month, down on the month. Still up on the quarter, up on the year. I'm going to pause the stock index portfolio 32 live trading, and I'm going to trade a small subset. I'll release that tomorrow. Maybe do a little bit of discretionary selection on strategies that have the biggest profits with tighter stop losses, and steer away from strategies that trade too much, and want to maintain the fact that we're up on the quarter. We have 8 trading days left. Tomorrow's not a great day to trade typically. Thursdays can, and so for tomorrow anyway, I'm going to pause the stock index 32. I'm going to adjust the portfolio. I have a portfolio that I've been looking at transitioning to, and I wanted to transition to it at the right time with some new strategies that I'm excited about. But this portfolio, this market environment is just it's harsh, and I want to show you the market environment as well as the trades on the day. Let's go over the market environment first and take a look at the NASDAQ futures. And it did the we did the gap down, gap fill in reverse, kind of normal, and then another leg down, so it's kind of a trend. It took that stop out, rallied, double stop run, pause, reverse, 76.8% Fibonacci retracement. Usually you get a shallow retracement and then a rollover. It looked like it was going to roll over here, but then it got some liquidity coming in here. The Pollyanna bulls came in here and saw the dip buying opportunity, but didn't run it up to the highs. And so it traveled 200. The NASDAQ traveled 200 points in about 40 minutes. We've seen that kind of price move before. And then at 12:30 or so, it went into about a 60-point range the rest of the day. So for the last 3.5 hours, it was about a 60-point range, and in 40 minutes it goes 200 points. So it slams up, slams down, sideways, rallies, and then just chops. And so lots of shift in price action too. We don't typically, it's not been typical, in the last few years to the market to be so wild at the open and then just go flatline at the close. We're seeing this pattern more and more where there's just back and forth patterns that aren't very cyclical, aren't very hard to pick off, because you don't see, it's hard to find the cycle of what's happening. And you see an up move and then a down move and then either another up move or a down move, and then just goes sideways. So even if you get long like we did, we finally got long at the end of the day. Some fall through would give us the gains, but it just pulled sideways. Nvidia and I guess Tesla drove this market higher. Just liquidity just keeps coming in and driving it. You've got two opposing forces: liquidity, which is the number one fundamental that drives the market higher, versus just bearish fundamentals. Really, the fundamentals are still bearish, and they haven't caught up to the liquidity or the technicals. So we'll see which one wins. It'll be interesting to see, but I'm pausing right here, and I have some other strategies that I want to implement at the right time. This market is just hard to trade, and it's frustrating, it's exasperating, and on top of the difficult market to trade, we've had platform errors. And so on the hypotheticals on the desktop are different than the live server. I'll show you that on EVP. You see, there is no early trade on EVP, just a late trade. But I'm going to show you the dedicated server. So here is the live automated server that I have on on a dedicated server that I pulled into this video. Long 7 here, minus 725. Long 7 here, minus 1,025. And so it depends on what you look at. I believe we have this post-holiday trade, and sometimes the data becomes unreliable or it changes on us. I reloaded this right before the market opened, and then I opened my desktop later on in the day, and I guess the data changed after the market opened and changed the trade. And so you see that we have minus 7,500, 7637, but it's minus 5,800 on the desktop. And so that will probably, once I refresh the VPS data, this will probably The desktop results will probably hold. It will really be minus 5,800 on the day. So we underperformed the hypotheticals by about 1,700 based on a data error, and so that was discouraging as well. So the EVPs were down. This is 725, and this was minus 1,025, and then it had this last trade that was up 320, and then robot loss minus 425, and then Zigzag's been a huge disappointment. Gave it room to bounce today. Considered shutting it off coming in today. Gave it room to bounce, and it just performed terrible. And so minus 37.05. Momentum reversal did well, up 1135. And I tried to add to some of these long positions down here and catch up for these automation errors on the data settings. And the results of adding to positions are kind of around break even because the afternoon trade kept rolling over on us, kept rolling over. And so S&Ps, Cobra 3, you continue to get this gap down continuation. Should be a short trade, and it fights that short, never get a short trade. And so adaptive moving average did have a small gain on the short side, was up early, came back only up 187.50. SR counter trend minus 825. Momentum reversal down 100. Tick fader was down on the day, minus 625. Tick counter trend dynamic was down on the day, minus 100. Opening chop minus 600, minus 525 on mirror 2020. So not a fun day returning from a holiday. Sometimes holidays throw the market out of sync. And so I'm going to pause here. The stock index portfolio 32 and let you know what adjustments I'm going to research tonight. I did a lot of research this weekend on the holiday weekend, and I'm going to be researching tonight to see what kind of adjustments we could make going into tomorrow's trade. Robot, I'll keep Robot on for sure. Robot, it has the potential to make a big 5K day on risking $400, and so we're going to keep Robot on for tomorrow for sure. If you don't hear from me, trading Robot only tomorrow. If I have some adjustments that we can trade for tomorrow, I'll share those with you. I have a new portfolio that I do want to trade, but it is actually near an equity peak, and so I'd want to wait for a drawdown to kind of match where we're at, phase in on this as we start to trade potentially into the new quarter before we trade that. And so I'll see where that is after today's trade as well. Updated portfolio calculator. So once again, those are the trades on the day for Tuesday, June the 20th, 2023. Hey, David Bean here. Welcome to Capstone Trading Systems YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe to join our community of algorithmic traders. We are real money traders. We share our winning streaks, we share our losing streaks, as well as market updates, strategies, and coding tips.